Awesome. Hey, everybody. It's good to see everyone's faces. We're in March now, and daylight savings. Time's kind of throwing Dave and I off. And I know Arizona now is back on their time, but good to see you. It's our Tuesday night team training. Tonight, the topic is duplication. I know it sounds just kind of like yawn, kind of boring. It's such a simple message, but it's a really important message and just a reminder of why we need to duplicate, why we need to keep things simple. So it's going to be a short training and just kind of another reminder that these trainings really are meant for the new people, right? A consistent place for them to get training on the basic skills of building their business and life vantage. Like where else can there's so many trainings out there, right? There's product trainings and the corporate does trainings and there's Saturday once a month training, so many trainings. Monday mornings, we've got our stories, which are the best way to build belief and be inspired. But we just want to keep these super simple, super basic, and super repetitive. Again, they're a safe place to invite your new people into. So if they just plug into, 30 minutes once a week, they're going to learn the basic foundations of how to build a business. And then at the end of each training, as you guys know, that we always give you like an action item, kind of what to do that week, and a resource, a book, or a podcast or something to listen to that week. Just keeping things super simple for you guys, because I know if there's just too much going on, it gets complicated and confusing. And then when it's confusing, people don't do anything, right? So if you're hopping on every week, I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. But just, make sure that you even taproot into your team. If you've got team members, taproot in there and make sure the new people know to be on this, to just learn the basic skills. So I'm going to get right into it, guys. I'm Christy Vogt, for those of you who don't know me. In Colorado. And just got a few slides here, and we always want to start with just what is our system, a visual of the system. We're out there, we're talking to people, we're sharing our story, we're listening to them, we're inviting our people to a tool, getting them in front of the opportunity overview, not just like the ABC video or a product video. We really want to get people ultimately in front of the whole big full overview of what LifeVantage is all about and let them make the decision, how they want to join us in LifeVantage as a consultant or as a customer. Then how to follow up, three-way chat, how to close people, how to enroll people, and then how to launch your new consultant, which is our next training for next week, you guys. It's gonna be so good. Holly and Sherry just broke an SC1. Her name's Renee. So Renee is going to come on and share exactly how she got to SC1 so quickly, and then how she's bringing on her new consultant and getting her launched to get to SC1 and duplicating that, right? We just want to duplicate this whole system here, and just leveraging a team. Duplication is really powerful if we're doing it right. So the guy at the top, I want you to just think, okay, this is me, and I'm working 4 hours that week, completely focused on talking to people, right? And sending them my shopping cart. Or I do my 4 hours and then I have four other people on my team doing their 4 hours that week, right? That's 20 hours in my organization of talking to people and introducing them to LifeVantage, right? That's powerful. That's just me plus four other people just doing a little bit, weaving this, in and out throughout the week, right? So the magic in the numbers and together is better. We don't want to carry all the weight on ourselves and doing all the work. So how duplication helps build strong, sustainable business is that it saves you time and effort. It helps build a stronger organization, and duplicating helps create a culture of success, and then build just a really sustainable business. So how to create duplication. So just use the system, Teach the system. Do not reinvent the wheel, right? Lead by example. Demonstrate the behaviors and actions that you want your team to replicate. And celebrate success. Acknowledge and celebrate the achievements of your team members. You know, when they get their very first customer, like shout them out on the, you know, you're the team's Facebook group. Shout them out in your team chat. You know, there is not a win too small to recognize and shout people out. Stay consistent in your actions and your communication with your team, and streamline the communication with your team for simplicity. Like, how many chats have you guys been in, right? I really try to work with our team on this because we always want to think of the busiest person on our team, right? They're working full time. They've got a few kids who are in all sorts of activities. They don't want to be inundated with messages. They don't want to be in this chat and that chat and this chat with repetitive messages. So just make sure that your chats with your team is very streamlined. And because what happens when there's complication and confusion, nothing happens, right? People get stuck. So keep it super simple. Stick to the system, show them that they can do this too. And you know, your people are watching you and wondering, like, can I do this? So it starts with the very first tool you send out. If you are talking to someone and you're all sciency with them and giving big, you know, names for things and not sending a tool to them, if you're just doing all the talking, how are they going to ever join you in this business? They're going to be like, I can never do what she's doing. I can never say what she's doing. I can never wrap my head around it like she is. But if you just say, hey, you know what? Are you open to looking at the information? Send them the tool, let the tool do the talking. Then, you know, they're going to be thinking, oh, I can do that, right? So the very first tool that you share matters, and how you follow up with them matters. You know, you're going to follow up, ask them if they're needing more information, send another tool. And, you know, what you're doing when you're doing belly to belly presentations, like in home, you know, just keeping it simple. You don't need, I remember, bless her heart, I love, if you guys know Karen Fisher, she lives here in town. She's just such a mama bear. And she made this huge spread with her very first in-person presentation. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. She made like fried chicken and mashed potatoes and like a homemade cake and all the things. And, you know, the people that came to her living room, they're probably thinking, I can't join her in this business. I can't do this. I don't have time for it, right? So just keep it simple. Don't clean your house, right? Like leave it dirty so they can say, oh, I can do this. If I don't need to clean my house and invite people over. And then just use your support team, you know, use that third party support team to answer the hard questions. And just repeat this over and over and over again. And lastly, just our daily method of operation. This is something, if you guys are on Maurice's team, you might have your own DMO, but if you all just stick to the DMO, you're going to win, and you're going to teach your team to stick to the DMO, and they're going to have a win, right? So 15 minutes of personal development, plug into just the weekly team trainings, that talks about like the social media posts and stories. Just keep that top of mind. 2 new touches a day, 2 follow-ups, check your notifications at back office. So this just keeps people like what to do on a daily basis. And then one of the resources that we have for you is Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. If you have not read that, it's a really great book. Guys, it's been a while since I've read that. If you guys have any other podcasts or something you're listening to, put it in the chat. Let us know what you're doing. And then just print out the DMO and just see how it works for you to follow it. And just remember to keep things super simple. And speaking of kind of a challenge, Tara, there she is. She is here. Um, she and I were talking today about just again getting back to the basics, keeping things super simple, and how most of us came in because of like the little yellow activator, right? Because of Protan and NRF2. So she came up with a challenge. She wanted to hop on the training tonight before we closed it out and throw out a challenge for us all. So I'm going to throw it over to you, Miss Tara Wilson.
guys. So excited to see your faces and just got back from Thailand. I'm still a little jet lagged. They say the second day is the worst, so I'm feeling a little right now, progressively getting tired. But yeah, so many you know, maybe you don't. I've been on Eric Worre's Mastermind for 7 years, and it's been pretty good. But I joined Sarah Robbins last year, and if you don't know who Sarah Robbins was, she was a kindergarten teacher turned network marketer when she was working for Rodan and Fields or whatever it was. What's their real company called? The skin company at Nordstrom, her and her mom, giving out samples on the weekends to supplement her income. And when they went to direct sales, her and her mom were the first two distributors, and she has done billions of dollars in sales. In fact, her team was doing $1.5 billion a year when a year and a half ago, Rodan closed the door on them. So she made a weird move, and she said, wow, like people were shocked. I got hate mail and like, what are you doing? You're crazy, because she went into a 70-year-old company with Me Too, 400 Me Too products. And in the last year, her team has brought on 250,000 brand ambassadors, not customers, salespeople. Let's put it in perspective. LifeVantage has about 55,000, not even active. So in 16 years, we've done 1/5 of what her and her team have done in a year. And she lost a lot of leaders because people are like, we're not going to Shackley. It's a 70-year-old company that is not exciting. It's not sexy. The comp plan's okay. And you're selling laundry soap, right? So I don't know why she went there, but she did. And instead of, buying into the garbage and the hype and all that, that times are different, network marketing's different. People don't want to show up for meetings. People don't want to do network marketing. The influencers are getting our attention. Nobody has the money, yada, yada, yada. Her and her team went, her and her leaders went to a room, and they decided to pick three hero products. One is their clean skincare. One is their collagen. And I think one is some skin wand or something. I don't know. And they built a system around it to duplicate. So I got on her mastermind because she is in the trenches today during our times with our problems, with our social media, with all of our things, she's building. And last month, following her system, had the highest personal enrollment month of customers and consultants in her 20-year career. Okay. And so the mastermind yesterday was how to build and rebuild momentum in your team. And I'm telling you, I've spent over $100,000 on masterminds. It was the most valuable hour and a half. And I shared that with Christy and Sherry today. And were you guys blown away? Yeah. So it's amazing. And once you hear these things, you just start, spitballing ideas. And I was thinking, how can we simplify it? Because it's basically about being simple. And I thought about when I started LifeVantage 10 years and 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and actually 5 months today. And what did we do? We didn't do anything complicated. We talked about a single product. We talked about Nerf 2 and why. And by the way, the government study about how it is the only product clinically proven to extend life in mammals wasn't even published for 10 months after I joined. It had 6 patents and 16 studies. Today we have like 12 patents and I don't know, 31 studies, right? But we have an extraordinary story, and I just think we are so used to it that we forget how amazing it is. And that we forget that there are so many millions of people that can benefit from it. And so how did I go pro 8, which is 200,000 a month in sales, in 4 months? I did it by sharing the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. And everyone's like, oh, it's old. It doesn't matter. It was 10 years old when I started. It's 20 years old. Who cares? They can't do it again because we can't say cancer and Alzheimer's and all that. And it is the most powerful tool we have that is the least rated tool, right? So my challenge to you is this. Find 10 people who have never joined you as a customer or consultant, or a customer who's never bought Nerf 2, and sit there with them, ideally in person, in their room, undistracted, focused in, not on your phone, and watch it with them. If you do like if you do like Zoom and you can screen share, Sit there and let them see you watching it. Do you know that I probably have watched that 1,000 times and it still blows my mind every time I see it? And I would highly recommend you pause where they hold up the mouse and say in 2000, and by the way, in a year from now, studies will be underway to find out if it indeed extends life. And they held up the rat. That was 10 years ago. And 10 years later, they published that study. You can be like, by the way, they proved that we have the only product in network marketing. We have the only product in network marketing clinically proven to extend life, both lifespan and health span in mammals. If you don't think that's exciting, I don't know what could excite you. So my challenge to you is find 10 people and sit there and watch that 11-minute video with them. And I would probably bet my life's fortune that everyone will get an average of 2 to 4 customers, and probably I'd say every other person will get a new consultant out of it. Because Kristen Cunningham said something really cool last year. For those of you who are in South Africa, Christy, Angie, Marisa, I'll never forget it. She said, I think we are so close to it that we don't get excited anymore. She says, when your guides took you out, they have seen 1,000,000 lions, like tens of thousands of lions and tens of thousands of leopards and tens of thousands of water buffalo and hippos and all these things. But when you look at them, they shared that experience like it was their first time. They were so excited. Our guides were so excited. They're like, wow. And they're taking pictures with us, and so incredible, right? She says, just be that excited about what you're doing. Because let me ask you this. How many of you, once you saw the ABC Primetime, knew that you were going to take that product? How many of you knew you were going to take that product, right? And I knew I was going to take it for the rest of my life, right? So what if you go do 10 and you start getting a couple customers? It's going to remind you of why we're here. You're going to have a couple victories. You're going to help people on your team get victories. And you're literally just saying, you could do something simple like this. We had a guy that came in earlier in the journey when we had the old comp plan, and Pastor Bill sent 50 people a text that said, if I send you an 11-minute video that will blow your mind, will you watch it? And to his surprise, everyone said, sure, send it. He enrolled so many customers and consultants. He went to Pro 5, which is now the new MC2, MC2, 20,000 in sales his first month, because he did that and then taught that. Is it easy? Can all of you do that? Can you find 10 people that have never bought Nerve 2, and can you share that video with them? Can you? The question is, will you? Okay? And if you're on my team, the first person who does it gets like an Amazon gift card or something. Okay, I'll figure it out. But first person who does it, you come to me, I'll give you an Amazon gift card. Okay? And I promise you, if we do this, and then what if you get a new consultant and be like, hey, all I did was share this video with 10 people and I got 2 new customers and you joined my team. Do you think, I already have been talking about this for 10 years. Do you think you have 30 or 40 or 50 people in your network, your sister, your parents, your neighbors, the kids' school, the church people, like write a list of, do you think you can find 20, 25 people to do that with? Marilee Marisic took my challenge when we joined. We joined in October. Our first event was October 23rd in Phoenix. She didn't get home till the 26th. I looked at her and I said, she goes, okay, Tara Wilson, I'm excited. What do I do? I said, go sign up 20 people. She's like, by the end of the month, she goes, I'm sorry, come again? And I go sign up 20 people. And she's like, there's only 5 days left of the month. I'm like, and? I said, those people are already in your network? Yes. Are you going to find? No. You have people in your network? She's like, good point. See, a lot of people think they need to spread it over what? What you can do tomorrow, do today. She enrolled 23 people that last 5 days of the month, and it set her up to now, she's an EC2, right? So could you do that, and could you duplicate that? Probably, because I'll tell you that even though it's an old video, it was already old when I watched it, it is still the most powerful tool we have because it says things we can't say anymore legally. So that's my challenge to you, and I'm going to do it as well. But Christy and I and some of the leaders have some really exciting stuff that we're working on, because if Sarah Robbins can put in 250,000 people in a year with a 70-year-old company with Me Too products, I'm pretty confident that we can build an empire. And one more story is Christy and I are in a mastermind with a guy named Marco. He works for a company that their hero product is an Omega, and it's $65. He just went from 2 million in sales a month 2 million a month to 7 million a month in the last year and a half with a $65 product. So I'm telling you, we have acres of diamonds. We have millions of people that would love Protandim. It's in a price point that anyone can afford. And I believe if people stay long enough, it will make a real significant, both long-term and short-term for their health. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm here. That's why many of you are here. And I just feel like we forgot our roots. So that's my 2 cents. Back to you, Lisa.
That was awesome. Thank you. I was looking at Marisa shared the link to the 11-minute video. And I know we have it in our customer group as well. Yeah, the full 11-minute. I personally never get tired of watching that. And that's all I send. I send the 3-minute version. And it still works because there's nothing else like it. It's still the same information, nothing else like it out there. So thank you, Tara. Who's in?
Tara, can I say something, you guys? I'm on my way back from the airport, so I've been up for 24 hours.
Bless your heart.
So anyway,
Welcome back.
thank you. You all, the ABC Primetime is the first thing I ever watched, and I watched it and I made my husband watch it right away. I knew the opportunity just because of my yoga student, and what she was earning at like 25K a month that month. And that was what, 14 years ago? 14 years ago, March 28th, I joined this company. And it's just been such a gift for health and for opportunity and to create leveraged income. And we are in 25 countries. Like we were in 4 when I started this business. We need to get back to the basics, show that ABC. And then really my 2 favorites are collagen, our liquid collagen that activates your own production of collagen, the Protandim, reducing oxidative stress, whatever 2 products you love, get people on them. It all starts with your 2 Protandim, and then you build from there, relationships from there, customers from there, and consultants, right? And that's what we need to do. And just keep it simple and just be in action. I love the challenge, Tara. I love the challenge. Um, it's just getting back to the very basic again, what we did in the beginning.
Hmm.
Marisa, one of
Yeah.
the I want you to talk to one of the reasons I got so fired up is just, listening to Courtney and Angie Rosas doing the simple things, but like just being in Thailand, there's something that hit differently that made me just realize that what we have our hands on is good. So do you want to share a couple thoughts about Thailand? I mean, and obviously she's had a very hard week because one of her best friends and beloved Maria Williams, she was there the night she died, and it was very heavy. And it's still, what you want to share your thoughts on the trip and what it meant to you?
Yeah, I mean, Thailand was so full of, it was such a calm trip, Tara. Like, it was calm and intimate and empowering, and just knowing that you all are the leaders too. Whoever's on this Zoom, whoever was in Thailand, who's ever an executive, we're the future of this beautiful company. And we have this opportunity. We're in Thailand, for goodness sake. We're in, so many countries, opening up in Spain, and to just hear, Angie Rosas and Lourdes and what they're doing. And they are in serious momentum. And Courtney, and they're just getting out there and sharing. And that's what, like, don't hide. Get out there and share and be bold and be brave and be beautiful and have passion and listen to people. And how can you serve them? How can you help them? This is about what it's in it for them. But Thailand was, to me, I was so grateful that it was a time that it allowed me to have some quiet time. It wasn't all quiet. We were busy. We were playing with elephants, and I mean, how fun is that? We were playing with elephants. We could chill out on the beach. We could kayak. We volunteered to go to a school, and this is something that's so important with LifeVantage is the legacy program and how we can give back to community and to see these beautiful children's faces and how happy they were to see us, and they danced for us, and we painted and they painted, and we cleaned their playgrounds, and it was just such a humbling experience. um Chiang Mai was just extraordinary. The place was beautiful, everything, and I want you all there. I want my team there. I don't want to be the only one there. Like, that's not what's fun. you know? So we need more of our teams there and really just getting down the basics and not scrambling and going from one thing to the next thing. Stick with what you know, stick with that ABC prime time, and say we've evolved from there. This is where our story started. You know, it's important to see it because it's a history of how this one small biotech company from the University of Colorado got started, but we have evolved now and we are pioneering nutrigenomics. We are activating our genes to, you know, have age with vitality, reduce oxidative stress, reduce that cellular damage caused by aging. We have a breakthrough. So Thailand was amazing. Turkey's around the corner. If it is Turkey, I think it'll be Turkey. Hopefully the unrest will be all settled down, and that's going to be incredible. How beautiful! So we all want you there, and I'm just a little jet lagged at the moment. So thank you for doing this call, and let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Share that ABC. So the challenge is 10 people over what time?
Well, I know there's two different teams, so Christy and I were gonna let that be up to the leaders. I think the next week would be great. And I will just tell you, a little birdie told me we're having a little incentive starting tomorrow. What might be a good time starting tomorrow through, I believe it's 1 week. I'm asking for permission. Oh no. So March 11th to the 25th will be a little win back on one of our categories. And so get ready for that. But I'd say that would be a good time frame, or a week or 10 days, like one a day. Can you find one a day to watch an 11-minute video? And I really mean
Yeah,
watch it with them. I really do.
yeah.
I've watched it a
And
thousand
you
times.
know, we always were taught, you know, 15 minimum 15 a month, you know, like getting
Hmm.
back to those basics. That's what Stu Brody taught us. And but I love the 10. So let's start with 10 and, you know, give people some time. I've got my team call next Monday. So I'll try to get stuff out now. And for those that start now, maybe they get a bonus, you know, and then I'll officially launch it next Monday as well for my team call.
Love it. And I just put in the chat, like, you know, you're going to you're going to have 10 conversations, and everyone that's excited say, hey, if you're this excited, can you think of 5 to 10 people in your life that you want to share this
Oh
information
yeah.
with? Happy to give you a $10 gift card or something, or for each person that buys from me, just something, right? Give some business right
Yeah,
up.
I love it. Listen,
That's
we're just pulling up in front of our house, so I'm gonna go, but thanks,
Okay.
guys. I love this. I was ready to get back at it.
Get some rest, Marisa. Good to see you.
Good to see you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I mean, I still do this sometimes. Like I'll have like a group of friends, like, like two or three of them that I know hang out together, right? Come over and I'll share the ABC video. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but in the beginning, I got 20 customers in like the first 2 weeks. But in person, watching it together, or if I was calling someone, and I still do this, I'd say, hey, do you have 3 minutes? Because I share the 3-minute ABC video. I'll stay here and hang on the phone while you watch it, right? So, because when someone watches that, again, how can they say no?
how I recruited Marilee. She's like, when I left, because she was not in my team in the last company, she's like, where are you going? And I said, are you in front of a computer? She goes, yeah, but just where are you going? I'm like, no, 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 no. You need to see it the way I saw it. I'm going to send you the link. It's 11 minutes. I'll call you in 12. And I watched it with her because I was like, I'm going to watch it too. And we didn't have Skype or Zoom at this point. So we didn't have we had Skype. We didn't have Zoom. So there was no option. And literally, I call her. I can hear John Quinones' voice at the very end. And she's like, this is amazing. I'm in. That's all. I didn't talk. I didn't talk about the comp plan. I didn't even know the comp plan. I didn't talk about anything. How old the company was, this, that, what are the ingredients? She said, based on that video, and now she is an EC2, I'm in. So don't overcomplicate this, and it's a great tool. It's still a great.
Right. And then to send along with it, or as your follow-up would be the link to your shopping site, because there's so much great information on the shopping site and the studies, and all of that. So, okay, guys, we are at 30 minutes. Thank you, Tara, for hopping on. Thanks for the challenge. It'll be fun to see. And we'll see you next week. And you'll hear about a new SC1 that just launched.
And
So,
we're going to recognize all the people next week that do the challenge. So you want your name in lights? And do it. And please let me know as you do it. And again, the first couple people, I'll give you something fun.
okay, we'll hold you to it.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
everyone. Have a good night.